It's time to make things right, guys.
This is not a training exercise.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things EA needs to do better.
20 million Battlefield 1 players out there today, and we've got a lot to share about a revolution that's coming to this great franchise.
For more gaming videos, check out our new spin-off channel, Mojo Plays, for in-depth reviews, thoughtful video essays, detailed character origins, and insightful commentary. Mojo Plays, games smarter. For this list, we're taking a look at some of EA's infamous mistakes and what they can do to right the ship in order to repair their relationship with gamers. Number 10, stop pandering at E3.
I went early, Rog. I went early.
E3 is essentially one massive press conference. It's not a music concert, it's not a comedy show, and it's not the Oscars. So why does EA feel the need to sell their games by hiring YouTubers and celebrities for their EA Plays event?
Check out Snoop Dogg. He's waiting to see if anyone's going to charge up on this trench here.
We don't need Zac Efron or Jamie Foxx to sell us Battlefield 1. And we don't need a YouTuber telling us how awesome Need for Speed or FIFA is. Please, no theatrical onstage performances either. EA, you don't need celebrity endorsements to sell your games so long as the games are good. Just come out and show us what everyone is working on. That's all you need to do.
That's what's up, man. You know, just looking for that opportunity.
Number 9, stop telling gamers one thing and investors another.
You take orders from me.
It's hard to keep a secret in the age of the internet. Leaks happen, rumors can start up easily, and scandals come flooding in at any moment. This power should not be taken lightly. So when you say something in a public letter to your investors, like say that the removal of microtransactions won't, quote, have a material impact on EA's fiscal year in regards to Battlefront 2, gamers are going to find out, and considering the controversy surrounding loot boxes in the world of AAA gaming at the moment, they probably won't be pleased, understandably so. If you want to have some microtransactions in your game, you better just be honest with the consumer about why they're there.
So what happens now?
We retaliate, Commander.
Number 8, stop hoarding IPs.
Rebirth.
With the sheer number of studios EA has purchased, there's a lot of great titles that EA has under its belt. Unfortunately, many of them have been collecting dust when they could be collecting our cold, hard cash. Where's Wing Commander Pin? Why not bring back Ultima? Hell, why not bring back Cell Damage?
I'm gonna tell on you. That's okay.
EA has some good studios under its belt, and instead of shutting them down, they should be giving them established IPs to work on. If EA really wants our $60, they'd bring back some of these classic titles that fans have been craving for far too long.
On everything we touch, we contaminate, corrupt.
Number 7, ease up on the deadlines.
You need the guidance of someone like Doug Chang to show you the way.
EA wasn't called the worst company in America for 2 years for nothing. With games rushing out the door in unfinished, buggy states, it's clear that EA is running a tight schedule on everything. Just from reading Kotaku news editor's Jason Schreier's report on Visceral Games' shutdown, the constant pressure and tight scheduling lowered employee morale, with developers walking in and out of the door throughout their Star Wars project. Games take time, both single and multiplayer. Many companies have had bad records of missed deadlines, but managed to turn the games in question into great stuff. You're running a company fueled by creativity, not cooking hamburgers. And for hamburgers, by the way, you shouldn't be rushing the cooking either.
I just hope that every fan walks away going, wow, I never thought they were going to bring my Star Wars fantasy to life.
Number 6, invest in single-player games. You want to know why Visceral Games was shut down? It's because their now canceled Star Wars game was looking like a much more linear game, which people don't like as much today as they did 5 years ago. That's a quote. Meanwhile, 2017 saw the release of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 7, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and many, many more. So their competitors seem to think differently. EA won't get anywhere if they try to put all their eggs in the multiplayer basket and ignore half the market. Number 5, stop chasing market trends. Following trends may have its benefits in sales, especially if you do something unique with it, but it shouldn't come at the expense of unique ideas. Dragon Age 2, for example, was heavily criticized upon release as it tried to replicate the experience from the then popular Mass Effect, as opposed to the game it was actually a sequel to. But the biggest failure with this mindset came with the publishing of Insomniac Games' Fuse, a game that was originally more of an over-the-top cartoony game that stood out called Overstrike. But then Overstrike was rebranded into a forgettable, gritty realism shooter because focus groups want more Call of Duty. So do you hear anyone talking about Fuse anymore? I don't think so.
Dalton, what are you doing?
Taking away their leverage.
Number 4, stop cutting up games to sell as DLC. Ever notice that EA's games have started to feel a little less meaty? Like a whole bone with no meat, you know? We could easily point to Star Wars Battlefront 2015 and its $50 season pass nonsense, or The Sims 4 and its endless stream of DLC that should have been in the main game. But this basically applies to most of EA's recent catalog. When you cut up your games like this, gamers tend to feel cheated out of their purchase, especially when you're charging $60 for what should be a complete game. Number 3, make Origin more user-friendly. What an absolute mess this has been! Over the years, Origin has been under fire for some of the most strict, uptight policies amongst gaming services. Accusations of spying, weak security systems, and numerous account bans over ridiculous reasons. Origin is not the most user-friendly experience. Things have gotten a bit better over the years, but not by a huge margin. Benefits have been added, like discounts on certain purchases and early access to big games. But when you have other services like Steam offering similar benefits with better policies, Origin just isn't worth it for how control-hungry it is. Where it stands as of this writing, even Origin users can't really stand the system.
And it all starts from one place, Origin.
Number 2, stop buying and shutting down good studios.
Mr. President, I'm afraid we have a heck of a situation down here.
There is a joke that EA is the serial killer of video game studios. It's a little hard to testify against that when there are a list of companies EA has bought only to shut down a few years later. Yeah, Visceral Games and its highly anticipated Star Wars game comes to mind, but that's just the most recent example. Other companies include Pandemic, creators of the original Battlefront games, and Westwood, the team that brought us the Command & Conquer series.
Why, Mr. President, whatever do you mean?
Sadly, these studios will never see the light of day again, and EA's recent acquisition of Respawn makes us feel frightened not just for the future, but for Titanfall as well. Number 1, stop over-monetizing beloved IPs. You'd think they'd have learned their lesson after Battlefront 2, but then they pulled the same stunt with Need for Speed Payback and FIFA 18, and UFC 3. Microtransactions are incredibly invasive, and when they intrude on IPs that are near and dear to our hearts, any company can quickly become public enemy number 1. If you think microtransactions aren't going to affect a game's sales, then why put them in, eh? Had Battlefront 2 not incorporated loot boxes and microtransactions in its $60 price tag, it might have been the best-selling game of 2017. Just make a good, honest game. No sleazy monetization, no pay-to-win loot boxes, just a complete, quality experience. It's really the only way to get back into the good graces of good gamers. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.